So now we're going to move to Portugal, right?
Exactly. Although I'm going to present the program, I will also talk about specifically the recent change. The Golden Visa program, it's basically a residency by investment program. Here you can find the investment activities that we have available in order to apply for the Golden Visa. Hello everyone, pleased to be here to speak about the Portuguese Golden Visa program. I will briefly introduce you to the program, but of course that you will have my contacts and you can also send questions for me to answer in the end of the presentation. Although I'm going to present the program, I will also talk about specifically the recent change on the program that occurred this month, only with effects for 2021, but they are very important to be highlighted today. So basically, I am an immigration lawyer. I'm currently working at Abreu Advogados, one of the top 5 law firms in Portugal. We have an immigration team highly specialized in immigration matter. Of course, comprising tax, real estate, and corporate lawyers that can provide a full assistance to our private clients. We have a specialized team working with the Golden Visa program in Portugal since its beginning, and we have already assisted over 1,000 applications so far with a 100% success rate. So we are very proud of that. The Golden Visa program, it's basically a residency by investment program that will allow the applicant to receive a temporary residence permit, being the applicant a third national country, of course, that conducts an investment activity in Portugal. And as you can see, such permit will allow the applicant and the family members to enter into Portugal or in the Schengen space and freely circulate within the Schengen as well. Live and work in Portugal if the applicant wishes to do so. Benefit from the social support from the Portuguese Social Security, but also the public health and education systems. The applicant, the investor may include in the application also the family members, for example, spouse, children, parents, and parents-in-law. And at the end of a 5th year of legal residence in Portugal, the applicant and family members may apply for the permanent status or, if they wish to do so, for the Portuguese nationality. So basically in Portugal, the Golden Visa program, it's a path that investor has to achieve the Portuguese nationality. And we are seeing now, of course, with COVID situation, that clients, they wish to have a backup plan, insurance policy for the future, and of course for their children. So we are seeing now more and more investors choosing Portugal as their investment destination, namely for Golden Visa purposes. So this Golden Visa program, was construed as a non-red tape procedure. The legal requirements are extremely reduced, of course, that with help and assistance of a Portuguese lawyer specialized in this matter as we are. It's very straightforward to apply for the program, and of course that we as lawyers are obliged to respect and make sure that the client's interests are duly protected and compliant with the Portuguese legal requirements. A few notes just for you to understand the way of pursuing this option. The funds for the execution of the investment, we will see afterwards what are the eligible activities in order to apply. The funds must be transferred from abroad, and the investor must enter into Portugal with a valid Schengen visa in order to apply. And the applicant cannot have any reference in the Portuguese immigration services nor the Schengen system in in respect to the investor, of course, but also the family members. The applicants, they need to have a clean criminal record, and the minimum stay requirement of the program, it's roughly 7 days per year, which is quite easy to comply with. This program can be the program. It's for third country nationals. Of course, that European citizens cannot apply. An important note to say that due to Brexit, UK is no longer a European member, so the British nationals are allowed to apply for the Portuguese Golden Visa program since the beginning of the year. Here you can find the investment activities that we have available in order to apply for the Golden Visa. As you can see, you have capital transfer and job creation in the minimum amount of 1 million euros. You have acquisition of real estate investment with a minimum threshold of 500,000 euros or 350,000 if the property is located in a rehabilitation area or built more than 30 years ago. And of course, with the execution of construction works and rehabilitation works within that property. The minimum threshold will be reduced 20% if the asset is located in a low populated area. So the minimum threshold in that case will be 400,000 and 280,000 euros. Then we have investment funds and venture capital with a minimum threshold of 350,000. Creation of job through a company in Portugal, also with a minimum threshold of 350,000. Artistic production with a minimum threshold of 250,000, and also scientific research with 350,000 as minimum threshold. Note that the investment activities can be executed directly by the investor in his own name or through a company incorporated in Portugal, but of course held only 100% by the investor. And now, just for you to understand what happened this month with the Portuguese program. So the government had a legislative authorization in order to amend the Golden Visa program until the end of the previous year. And they, in fact, they amended the programs in increasing the minimum threshold in some options, and namely in real estate options, they will exclude the main areas of the country, namely Lisbon and Porto, from the areas that will be possible to invest in. Of course, all these changes that I'm going now to speak about will only be applicable from January 1st next year onwards. Okay, so for this year, it's still possible to apply using the minimum thresholds that I presented before. Okay, so for the real estate option, you have no limitation regarding areas this year, and the minimum threshold will remain the same. So 500,000 euros or 350,000 if the asset is object of rehabilitation works. So the main changes is, of course, in relation to the minimum threshold. In the case of capital transfer, we have now a minimum threshold of 1,500,000 euros. Then in the artistic production, it's remaining the same. Job creation, it's now will be 500,000. Scientific research and investment funds and venture capital also 500,000. So we are seeing here, on general terms, an increase of the minimum thresholds. In the specific case of the real estate investment, as I already mentioned, for properties for residential purposes, only certain areas of the country will be eligible for the purpose of the Golden Visa, namely interior areas of the country. Of course, that if the investor chooses to invest in property, for example, in the shop, in the store, that will still be possible to select commercial property in Lisbon and Porto, for example, still in 2022. Okay, so this is only for residential purposes. Of course, that all the investment executed this year, and provided that the Golden Visa applications are still submitted this year, they will be submitted under the current rules of the Golden Visa. So if you decided, for example, to invest in buying an apartment in Lisbon, we will be able to submit the application within this year, so the current law will be applicable. And we are seeing now investors very concerned about this change, and because they, of course, they wish to invest in Lisbon and Porto, for example, or in certain areas of south of Portugal, and they are deciding to move forward with their applications ASAP in order to take advantage of the actual minimum threshold, and also the possibility of investing in areas of the country where it will not be possible to invest in for residential purposes as of January next year. Okay, so this is quite important. If someone is considering to apply, namely in real estate investment, I would say that please move forward, so you can benefit from the actual circumstances that the law foresees. In relation to our legal services, we offer a full package. So when the client contacts us, we of course present a proposal of fees where we will foresee all the steps of the application since the beginning to the end. So for example, opening a bank account, get a tax number, executing the investment. So we will perform the diligence over the asset to make sure that everything is okay with the property. If there is any red flags, we will notify the client to advise him how to pursue the investment and the best way to do it. We will also assist in case the client wishes to pursue the investment with rehabilitation works within that property, and of course with acquisition of participation units in venture capital funds. Just to note regarding this specific option that not all the funds are eligible for Golden Visa purposes, because there are certain requirements that must be complied with in order for a fund to be eligible for the Golden Visa. So usually what we do when the client comes to us for this option, we have a list of the funds that are in the market, all the funds that are available for the purpose of Golden Visa, and then the client will contact the funds directly and execute the investment. Of course, that sometimes the client wishes to have a business consultant or a specific person that is taking care of the financial investment, and we will also be delighted to assist the client, either the client's consultant or managers, in order to achieve the main goal, which will be the Golden Visa program. And of course, after the execution of the investment, we will be, of course, assisting the client in submitting the Golden Visa application for an investor, and of course for the family members that will also be entitled to apply for the Golden Visa. So our assistance will include everything since the beginning until the end. The client does not need to worry about hiring third parties in order to conclude other steps. Our assistance will include, of course, all steps necessary in order to apply for the visa. So if you are willing to invest in the Golden Visa program in Portugal, you may contact us and we will, of course, be delighted to assist you. Okay, here you have my contacts. You can also look in our website where you can find specific information about our law firm. We work in several areas of the law. Immigration, it's a strong area in the office because we have been working with the Golden Visa since its beginning. So we have a close relation with the immigration services, and we of course are totally aware of their interpretation about some requirements that are necessary to explain to our clients while we are assistant with the execution of the investment. Of course, at sometimes clients, although the main goal is to achieve the Golden Visa, they have also other matters to take care of. And for that, we will create a task force in order to aggregate all the lawyers in different areas in order to help the client, which are usually high net worth individuals, to achieve the goals in Portugal. So if you have any specific questions, please feel free to ask. And of course, you can email me and we will be pleased to schedule a meeting, introduction meeting, to discuss the options further. And we are totally available. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Vanessa. It's been very interesting, and we do have some questions for you. Let me just go to chat room right now. So in a chat room, we have following questions. Is it possible to open bank account without our visit to Portugal?
Yeah,
that's question number one.
Yeah, that is a very common question. And yes, just to explain that, due to COVID, of course, most of our clients are not coming to Portugal to select the investment and to start the application. So we are doing everything remotely. And one of the things that we are able to do remotely is, in fact, to open a bank account. Of course, we have to comply with certain requirements, but it's totally possible to do it remotely.
Understood. Thank you. And another question is, should we visit Portugal during the process before biometrics data is gathered?
Yeah, no. So everything can be done remotely. The only time that we will need the investor and the family to come to Portugal is at the time of the biometrics, which will be, of course, the final stage of the application. We have first to have the bank account, tax numbers, power of attorney, to execute investment, to submit the Golden Visa application online, and only after the immigration services accept the online application, we will be able to book the biometrics. And at that time, yes, the applicants, they must come to Portugal.
Understood. All right, we have another question for you, Vanessa. So Portugal is a very popular country, apparently. So it's, no wonder, right? Beautiful country.
Yeah.
So how much tax for business in Porto? And if you have a house for rent or hotel, and is there any tax on land, and how much? I mean, if you want me to break it down, I can break it down for you, but I guess how much tax for business in Porto?
Yeah, so of course the taxation will vary in accordance to the specific situation of the investment and of course the situation of the assets. But usually, if we are talking about rents, we have a tax of 28% over the rental income.
Okay.
Yeah. We have, of course, other taxes, but that is a quite general question. So if the person that sent that question may send me an email, and I will be delighted to send specifications about the taxation in Portugal. All
right. So Jan, I mean, you're the one who asked this question, so please feel free to send it, an email to Vanessa, and she'll break it down for you.